Well, right above me is the moon. You can see it. I'm a huge believer on the moon. That moon came up about an hour before sunset, and you can see it's probably 1 or 2 days before full, and the 3 days prior to a full moon is always awesome for evenings. And I actually moved up to a food source for the evening because I knew that there was going to be a lot of movement this evening. So sure enough, waited for a buck to just come check does. That's exactly what happened. I'm going to go get my buck. There's my stand right behind me. You can see it right there. You can also hear a car. Pretty crazy. I'm only about maybe 60-70 yards from a road. Just goes to show you sometimes the roads aren't that bad of a thing. I got a small little plot here and it's concealed, and I actually saw this buck cross the road this morning in front of me during the dark. So I knew he was in this area, came here for the evening, and textbook worked out perfect. Right here's where I shot him too. 7 yards. Awesome. Got him tagged. Went and got my camera, tripod, but this is just a perfect ending to a great example of what you can do if you have limited resources, limited space to hunt. I've really made a career off just continually building off small pieces of properties, really trying to find out what the deer need, whether it's food, cover, or water. You always have to have one of those three things, all three if possible. I started out in my early 20s with 3 acres of land and was able to be successful and shoot a Pope and Young deer, and then I moved to a 10-acre piece, and then eventually I was able to get a 40-acre piece. And then I moved to Iowa, and I've continued to get permission at different places. I've got a lot of different farms that I have around. They're all different sizes. This particular spot was really unique because it's only 80 yards off a road. You'll probably be able to hear a car go by, but I put this food plot in with a simple ATV and a drag, a hand spreader, put turnips, radishes, and rye down. Waited a few weeks till it started to come up, and then I just used a little spreader and put on about 50 pounds of nitrogen to the acre. Well, it was less than an acre. And then I found the only tree I could get in. I knew it was going to be good for an east wind. And what's really important and why this worked out so well is because I did not hunt this at all until the time was right. I knew that there'd be does coming to this food plot. I knew that they'd feel safe there if I wasn't there coming and going. And I let those does pull in 2 awesome deer. That first buck was great. I was actually really having a hard time deciding not to shoot that deer, and then it actually paid off because I was rewarded with this buck that we decided to call the Veteran since it's Veterans Day. Couldn't be happier, and I couldn't be more appreciative for all the supporters that we have out there who have served and who have fought for our freedom. And thank you to all the veterans out there. There's a lot of the knock-on followers that are veterans, including my father, and I sure do appreciate it, and my grandfather. But thanks everybody so much. This is a perfect story. You don't always have to have a giant farm. You just have to have food, water, or cover. Let the does feel safe. Always play the wind. Wait for the timing to be right. And hopefully you can get a big boy like this one.